help you get up to that vault. For the rest of the operation, you are the ball.
Roger, Bentley. I'm starting my approach. Getting over these fortress walls shouldn't be a problem. Look, we're running 5 by 5 here. Make sure everyone's in sync.
I hear that. Artillery, sure you can make that shot?
I endeavor not to miss.
Excellent. Radio control.
In position.
Recovery team.
On pump!
Submersibles.
Showtime, baby.
Telekinetics. All right, it's the crime of the century and the ball's in motion.
There are technically 8 chapters, as long as you count the intro as one, which I don't because it's only 7 minutes long, and as long as you count the hazard training room as one, which I don't because why would I? Annoyingly, you have to play the training mission before the game will let you continue. It's very basic training too. Aim camera there, jump up here, etc. The story is pretty simple. The bad guy, called Dr. M, is trying to break into the Cooper family vault, and Sly and the gang would quite like to stop him, except that they haven't got the necessary skills between them. So off on another world tour they go to try to recruit the people they need. Chapter 1, An Opera of Fear. After the events of the second game, Murray has been seeking inner peace, or some bullshit. Anyway, he's the first recruit. One of the first things I did was click the L3 button to see my bottle count. And... nothing. In previous games there were 30 bottles a level. Collect all 30 bottles and you could open the level vault. There are no bottles. There is no vault anymore. They're gone. Another thing that's missing, large treasures. You can still pickpocket small stuff from the enemy's pockets, but those large ones and the large booby-trapped ones, they simply aren't here either. And that means that as I wandered around the rooftops of Venice, it felt a bit, well, vacant. There's nothing else to do except the main missions. I mean no side content at all, unless you count pickpocketing people, which I don't.
Good evening to you, my fine associates. Octavio here. I'm pleased to report that the tar suction levels are at all-time high. However, it saddens me to report that some of you haven't been keeping in time with the orchestra. You know what I mean? I'd like to see Mal, Raphael, and Julius in the main vacuum room immediately. We're gonna discuss your retirement package. And if any of you catching these boys make a run for it, well, shoot them in the back.
Venice has some things in common with the first chapter in the last game, Paris. It has you tailing the boss through the city streets. Unlike Paris, however, Venice is a bit more vertical and has way more guards on the rooftops. That means tailing Don Octavio is surprisingly hard, especially given it's only the second mission in the entire game. Another mission has you carry a time bomb to a target, but it doesn't have you pick the bomb up. It simply starts the countdown as soon as the cutscene ends, which caught me off guard the first time. Bollocks! Still, this chapter features for the very first time ever Inspector Carmelita as a playable character, complete with thigh-booted kick and shock pistol. Chapter 2, Rumble Down Under. So you've recruited Murray, except you haven't, because before he'll run off with you and join properly, he needs the permission of his guru. It just so happens the region of Australia where the guru lives is under siege from prospectors. Also, the guru is a master of the mind and will make a handy recruit. But before all that... Yeah, this weird line coming out of Sly's glove is it's distracting. I mean, fortunately it isn't visible all the time, and besides which Murray has his own things to do. And to assist him, he has a new trick, the Aboriginal ball form. I'm sure Australians do it all the time. It allows him to bounce back up as high as he started. So bouncing from a great height allows you to maintain that height. Occasionally the game contrives a reason to use it, but not often, but it's also handy everywhere else for moving between nearby buildings. And in a surprising addition to the series, Bentley and Murray can now pickpocket. Well, I say Murray can pickpocket, he doesn't so much pick their pockets as pick them up and physically shake them. The series still has the occasional lunatic mission, like flipping a truck to catch scorpions.
Oh boy! Here we go!
Don't bother dropping the blue ones. They're only good to cool down your tires.
Cha-ching!
The guru, being a potential recruit, has his own playstyle. Being a pacifist, he can't attack, so it's crucial you stay stealthy. He can, however, disguise himself to become unnoticed.
Where'd he go?
And possess enemies, turning them into battering rams.
Sweet moves, master!
Wow, that pacifism really lasted a long time. Normally, every hive of hostiles has a boss in charge of them. I think this might be the one and only time in the entire franchise that doesn't happen. There's no actual boss here in charge of anybody. This time they went with something a bit different. Yep, Sly's perennial pursuer / love interest has gone giganto on us. Chapter 3, Flight of Fancy. Bentley's a good remote control vehicle pilot, but he says you need a master. Enter Penelope. She says you need to beat her boss at his own game. His game being a massive aerial dogfighting competition. And the competition here fights dirty. Competitors regularly sabotage each other. Well, it wouldn't be fair if you didn't do it too, would it?
Get that pig punk! These doors ain't holding themselves open! Barbecue that meatball! This is killing me!
Despite the fact that we've lost both the bottles and large treasures as side collectibles / activities, the game does compensate by including new thief activities on some missions. Sometimes you'll have to crack a painting safe. Use the magnifying glass to find the code written into the image. Other times it'll be a dial safe. Twist the dial left, right, and left again to pop it open, changing directions when indicated. I like all this. In the first game, I kind of just felt like I was going through random levels because reasons. The second game, though, there was a lot more planning. It felt like you were actually preparing for a heist. And these additional mini-games make you feel even more involved than ever. And all this completely fair and above-board competition leads to a mid-air duel with the Baron himself, which itself leads to an exchange of fisticuffs on the wing of a plane, only for you to discover that the Baron is actually Penelope in disguise. Dun dun dun! Damn, she didn't skip leg day. Chapter 4, A Cold Alliance. Bentley announces you need an explosives expert, and he suggests none other than the Panda King. Yep, one of the original Fiendish Five responsible for his dad's death and stealing the Thievius Raccoonus. Needless to say, Sly isn't thrilled by any of this. Turns out the Panda King, though, has done a Murray and is in a meditative state when you find him. I quite like this bit, how the Panda King is kind of stuck on replaying the battle, which effectively forces you to replay the battle along with him to snap him out of it. His boss fight from the original game was the best one. But this isn't enough. You need to rescue his daughter before he'll properly sign up, and she's been kidnapped by General Sao. Not only does he actually steal the gang's ThiefNet laptop computer, which has never happened before, and yes, it does make it inaccessible for a single mission. Not only do you have to duel him in the trees, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Raccoon style, but you also have to deal with him in melee while being assaulted by black magic. Most of the power-ups for sale on the laptop are, as usual, bloody useless. But if you haven't purchased the basic push and spin attacks, you might find this particular boss encounter extremely hard. I'm just saying. He's also a huge egomaniac. He might be my favourite bad guy in the whole series, actually.
Ah, the paparazzi. Will I ever know a moment of privacy? Make sure you get my good side. It must be quite amusing to observe the effects of power. Why is it that I'm always the center of attention?
Oh, and did I mention he's got a dragon? Mind you, the Panda King himself is no slouch either. Load up on fireworks and let loose on entire groups of enemies at once. And any innocent headstones. Chapter 5, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Assassin's Creed Black Flag was released in 2013. This game beat it by 8 years. Now, admittedly, it only has one port and one beach to visit, but it has you running around rooftops, ambushing pirates on the streets, following maps to buried treasure, and of course, engaging in ship-to-ship combat on the high seas. You can even choose to sink or board an enemy ship when they've been disabled. I'm starting to wonder where Black Flag got all of its ideas from.
Where are you? Run with your opposable foes! I'll find you! Tricky monkeys!
Nice work. I've already got a bead on the second lieutenant. He's in motion near the overturned boat.
The only irritating part of this chapter comes near the start. I suppose it gets it over and done with. Anyway, you have to engage in vinegar talk with another pirate, trading insults without repeating anything said by either of you. And if you screw it up and have to try again, you start to forget which insult you used on which attempt, which can lead you to cock up again. And by this point there are so many power-ups for sale on the laptop, it's impossible to buy them all. Okay, well, it's not impossible to buy them all, but you'd be picking pockets for years to afford to buy them. And again, they're just not that useful. I mean, having the large treasures back would be a big help, of course, but they're missing. Though I do like the way each gang member picks pockets differently. Sly with his trusty cane, Murray by grabbing and shaking, and Bentley with his fishing pole and magnet. Trying to guide a blinded Penelope back to the safe house with the grapple cam is a bit tedious, but she makes up for it by dueling the pirate boss Lefree at the end. Okay, so let me get this straight. Penelope is an expert engineer. She's a master RC pilot. She has her own private army and air force. She can go toe-to-toe with Sly in a fist fight on the wing of a plane at 15,000 feet. She stomps the ground with so much force you'd think it was Murray shaking the plane out of the sky. And she can outfence a pirate while balancing on top of the rigging. Might be easier to list all the things she can't do. Chapter 6, Honor Among Thieves. In the tradition of the original game, the final chapter is just one long unbroken run of various missions back to back. Unlike the original game, this one isn't a bloody piss take. Okay, there's a bit of a difficulty spike when dogfighting with the biplane. The enemies are always all over you and think nothing of crashing into you, or for that matter, each other, which wouldn't be a problem except if you don't shoot them down. Them crashing into each other and blowing up doesn't count towards the 20 kills you need to make. Also, there's no armor repairs in flight. It's a pain in the arse. Otherwise, you have the whole team playing their various parts to reach the Cooper Vault. Except the Panda King. His big moment seems to be launching the team van up to the entrance. The van is immediately abandoned in the very next cutscene. Well worth the effort then. At least he got some major parts in the two previous chapters.
Henriette One-Eye Cooper sailed the seas and stole from pirates. Guess I really take after her.
You have to beat up Dr. M quite a few times in this final stretch as he boards various mutant monstrosities and mechanical contrivances to fight you with. I mean, honestly, it gets a bit tiring by the end. Do you know what it's like? It's like Liquid Snake at the end of Metal Gear Solid. It's like, for fuck's sake, stay down. Anyway, he does finally go down and sort of stay there. The gang escapes with the loot. Bentley and Penelope literally fly off into the sunset. Sly pretends to have amnesia and retires with Carmelita. Oh, and Bentley's building a time machine, which I'm positive won't backfire in any way whatsoever. It's a good way to end a trilogy. Everyone's stories are wrapped up. We get to see the Cooper family legacy, and some old faces join the party for good measure. Yes, we lose the clue bottles, the large treasure items, and the reason for exploration, but we gain a complete focus on the missions, story, and extra thief puzzles in exchange. I personally still prefer the second game, but this is an excellent way to say goodbye to the gang. Or at least it was until they let someone else loose on the franchise.
Halt! Give me the cafe password.
Got it. Here it is.
Bass, soprano?
Okay. I guess you're the relief shift. Thanks for coming early. I got a big plans for tonight. Carnivale. Good times, eh?
I can't believe that worked. You've got the worst Italian accent I've ever heard. No offense.
Like I said, I still prefer the second game. The missing content is a bit confusing the first time because if you're used to the game, you're already looking for the clue bottles and where's the counter? Oh, wait, where is everything? Oh god, they're not here! It throws you for a moment and then you realise the large treasures are missing, but you get the extra little thief puzzles as well. They kinda compensate for it. And there's a renewed focus on the story, I guess, but you haven't got much reason to explore the level because there's literally nothing there to find. Anyhow, I'm done with this, I think. What did you think of the video? Leave a like or dislike down below. What did you think of Sly 3? Which one out of the trilogy is your favourite? Leave a comment in the comment section below, that's what the comment section is for. And for those of you who can't get enough of my dulcet tones, you can either subscribe, ring the bell for notification, that's a separate thing, or if you want to inflict my irritating persona on someone else, you can always share instead. See you next time.